Good evening, everyone. It's your girl, Orlandina Ballard, and I am the Fitter Woman, your holistic lifestyle coach and transformation specialist, coming to you live from our Red Stiletto room with our weekly Red Stiletto conversation, where we make time for women like you and me. And today we're going to be speaking with Dion, aka Age with Vibrancy. We're going to be talking about sex, stress, and sleep. The three S's. A little bit about myself. As I said in the beginning, I'm a holistic lifestyle coach. I'm a transformation specialist, but I also curate lifestyle and fitness events for women, giving them the space and time that they need to let down their hair, to make time for themselves, and to really reconnect to themselves as well, to connect with other women. This Red Stiletto room is a space for all of us to come together and to exchange our own information, our own experiences, right? So this is why I wanted to put this together. And Dion, hey, are you ready to come on? First of all, I need to make sure I'm on Do Not Disturb. I did that last time. Oh, I'm frozen a little bit. Come and click on that little request and come on. I think I can. Okay. Let's see if I can. Let's see. All right. There you go. What's up?
Hey!
What's up? Zorn, let us know if you want to join. Because now I found out we could do up to 4 people.
Awesome.
Hello, Eric Coleman. How are you?
Hey, Eric, how are you? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Dion, first of all, you look amazing.
Thank you.
You look so beautiful. Hey, Conscious Cuisine. How you doing?
Hey. I'm trying to get
so, Dion,
light. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I just literally finished a webinar on Google businesses, so yes.
Oh, okay. How was it?
It was wonderful. Learned that I am underutilizing my Google business page.
See, the things we got to learn as business
Right.
women, you know, business people, we have it. Girl, don't worry. You're over here trying to wipe the oil off your face. Honey, that's what keeps us young. Absorb that oil.
Actually, it's my own product. You're my own supply, honey.
It's your own product, too.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. You better love that oil. I used to, I'm like, oh my God, mommy, why is my skin so oily? Now I'm like, yes, oil. Oh, Conscious Cuisine said that she should have been on that webinar with you.
I will share that with you. It is on our National Coalition of 100 Black Women Greater Cleveland's chapters page. The replay is available. Go watch it, please.
Please forward it to me because I need to learn more about that.
I was sitting there like, what? Say what?
The stuff that you learn. That's why you need to be around like-minded people, like people who are not afraid to share resources. Like, I learned about this. Oh, you didn't hear. I learned about that. It helps. It helps us to grow. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining us in this. See, Zorn says she should have been on it too.
I want to share that information so everybody can watch the replay.
Cool. All right, Zorn, when she sends it to me, I'll send it to you. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Vanya Travels. So, Dion, thank you so much for joining us in the Red Stiletto conversation in our Red Stiletto room, our red tent where all the women converge to just share experiences, knowledge, and wisdom, right? And I love this space and what it's growing to be, just literally organically.
It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love it.
You know, so just a little bit of background how I met Dion. I only met Dion like a few months ago, but she feels like a sister. So, and we met at not a women's conference, but we met at Black Millionaires Conference. And, you know, we're learning about growing our businesses and just being around that energy. And this big woman, not big woman, but this woman comes up to me with this big smile. And there's Dion, right? Behind this big smile. And we just start talking. And I loved Like, you got me at the name of your book. Tell everybody the name of your book.
Hold on.
Tell them your book.
Look Good Naked.
I was like,
That's the name of the book.
ooh. Ooh. And Red Stiletto was still in its infancy and growing. You know, I was shaping up the idea of it. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I love this. So as we've been growing this Red Stiletto movement, I was like, Dion, do you want to come on and talk about what it means to, you know, aid? I said, what do you want to talk about? She's like, I want to talk about sex, stress, and sleep. I'm like, good Lord, just come at them, you know? So, oh, it's beautiful, that concept. But just to talk about aging, you know, look good naked, I'm like, I love it, you know? So, because so many of us are so self-conscious about our body, especially women as we're getting older, menopause starts to come around and play with our bodies. You know, we're not losing weight that we want to, or our bodies didn't look the way it did when it was 25 months. We're not 25 anymore. You know, I'm not saying you need to accept falling apart, but, you know, love your body in this next phase that it's going in. So tell us about you and how you chose this path.
Well, I am a gerontologist and social worker by trade. So I was working for the school district and in social work. And I kept saying, I'm going to retire at 40. I'm going to retire at 40. Yeah, right. The first just like, how about I'm going to lay you off at 40? Because you are not living what you are supposed to be living. I have been running from this calling, been running from it, and it's finally here. So I am a social worker with weights now, because what I've realized, like you specified, women have so much trauma, drama, things that have been held in our cells, been held in our organs, some of it in our DNA. And what I've noticed about a lot of my clients, they kept sabotaging themselves when they got to a certain point. That fear of, well, what if I am great? Or what if I can be, quote unquote, the bombshell that we already are, but we don't believe it. So I had to dust off some of those social work books and dig into my gerontology training, because the body does change as we age.
Yes. And
created a program that helps women age well and look well and love themselves well. I love that. I realized that a lot of the sabotage stopped when I started getting into people's heads and hearts. So, yeah.
You know what, Dion? First of all, Zoran's like, yay, social work, right? I'm an educator. I'm a math teacher. My cousin that's watching us, she's also a teacher. Yeah. So we hear you. That social work, my hat goes off to you all. You know, the things that you guys have to work with, and the challenges that you face, at least in the school system. But I'm going to come back to where you are now, which is, you know, I had to work with their mind. Like, I had to get into their heads. Notice, everybody, like, wellness is not the body. It's not just you going to the gym and working out. I wish it was, and it would be so easy. And I'm telling you, as a professional athlete, as someone who's been working out since the age of 21, I've been competing for 10 years at this point. It's not that. I wish I could tell you that's what it is. I wish I could tell you it's the food and the workout. It's not. The first and foremost thing is the mindset. And I love how you said people are afraid of the greatness that lies within them. Why do you think that is? Being that you have that background, why do you think that is? You know, what is in their mind? Because you would never think somebody would be afraid of something positive. But what do you think brings out that fear?
It can be as simple as something that someone said to you when you were 7 years old that you have internalized, you have thought about, you have replayed in your head. Something as simple as, well, don't eat that biscuit because you're going to be fat, and you're going to be fat like your grandmama. Or, I mean, anything. We're especially us Black people, we can be brutal to children, and that keeps manifesting. People keep reliving that, and they don't know how to shake it. And what I found. A lot of that childhood trauma, you're still reliving it at 50 and 52, and your body doesn't know the difference. Your body's replaying it as it happened, as if it just happened. So that's what I have found. We have to heal.
And to heal from within, we have to start with the mindset and our own views, our not even just our own views, but the views that were put upon us by our parents,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not even you person. You didn't come into the world like this.
Right.
These are things that people visit upon you, right?
Yeah.
The analogies that I give as a math teacher, I've had, I've sat down parent-teacher conferences, and I've had parents say, listen, I know why my child is not great at math. I wasn't great at math.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, don't visit your own experience upon your child. They just got here. You've already been here. Like, don't visit that. And guess what? Not being good at math is not a genetic trait. It's your own personal experience, but don't visit that upon your child. So parents are now visiting their own construct of self, their own construct of food, their own body image issues, and visit that upon their children. So so now, as you said, the brain doesn't know that you're no longer 5, even though you're 55. The brain just replays it. So how, like, what would you say is the number one thing you would tell somebody struggling in that area, where their mindset is starting to take over their own view of themselves? What would you say is the first step?
Stop. And it sounds so simple. Stop.
Stop it.
And then I have a practice that I have with my clients. I make them write out that hurtful thought, that hurtful saying, and I make them read it. I make them read it out loud.
Ooh.
And then I make them burn it. And I like it ends here. And some people have to go back. Some people are like, I had to burn that 5 times, but it's out. And so as you and I know, that's the importance of what we do. That movement, it get that poison out of our bodies. It helps get that poison out of our cells and out of our minds.
So that, and it allows us to move forward. So you see, folks, like, that's why words are seeds, whether they be positive, whether they be negative, and they will plant themselves anywhere, just like the seed from a weed will plant itself anywhere, just like the seed from a rose. It just depends on what is being spoken and where is it being planted. And that poor seed, whether it be a good one or a bad one, can impact whomever it was spoken to. So we now have to be mindful of the words that we speak to others, and most important, the words that we speak to ourselves. Like, what words are we implanting?
Thinking.
Right?
I just want to give a quick shout out to Juan. I see that he is on, and he is one of the main reasons that I am in this industry. So shout out to my first coach.
What's up, Juan, Tony?
So yes.
So tell us about how he's the reason why, because I like to hear those stories of how one person just inspired you towards this journey.
Well, when I started, when I actually got laid off, I was close to 200 pounds on this little 5'3" frame. Everything hurt. And I started going to a boot camp that him and another trainer had. And I started in the back of the class, and then I started seeing results. And he kept encouraging me and kept encouraging me. And then eventually I was in the front. And then they're like, why don't you stretch a class out at the end? So I started going from the back of the class, barely being able to make it, to stretching the class out at the end of the class. And then he started planting the seeds. You need to be certified. You need to become a trainer. And I kind of, and here I am. I'm still a trainer. And that journey started in 2010. So yeah.
Here, 2023, and impacting lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that belief, and when someone believes in you, that's so powerful.
It does. That's how I got into competition. Someone saw something within me that I never saw. I was like, I'm a math teacher. What are you talking about? A bodybuilder? No, that never. But this one trainer was like, you have the physique for this. I was like, no. And to get the pro card in 15 months of getting on stage, 15 months, which I, as I move on, like it wasn't a common thing. So to
Right.
hear that, and once I got my pro card, and it literally looks like a little business card, and I looked at it and I said, I know it's more than this. IFBB Pro Orlandina, there's something more in here in this little card. And I didn't know it was going to set me on this journey to becoming the fitter woman. So it's amazing how somebody could see something with you. So shout out to you, Juan Tony. And whoever else. There's somebody else you said that was with him, but shout out to you, gentlemen, for seeing something in her. And so now she's going on to impact others. So it's a ripple effect.
My clients is on, hey, troublemaker. My favorite Diana.
Hi, troublemaker. I don't know. I got to hear the story of troublemaker, but we'll hear about you in a little bit. So tell us about the impact of stress and why do you put the impact of stress on our sleep and sex life? Like what happens here?
So good stress is great because we need that flight. If we're being chased, that stress is great. But imagine your body being in that all the time. That adrenaline is damaging to your body if it is constantly on.
Yes.
So over time, especially as we age, and especially as Black women, the stressors that we face, we are not the best at reaching out and asking for help.
No.
And for me personally, I will internalize things, or instead of asking for help, I do it because you're not going to do it the way I need it to be done. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to practice what I teach. But what I found, how it damages the body, it not only damages our heart, it damages our organs, but that stress leads to depression and anxiety. And depression and anxiety starts that ripple effect of lack of sleep, poor sleep. That lack of sleep, that poor sleep leads to low libido, low sex drive, and just not even wanting to have sex. And as women, well, maybe just me, I don't know, but I love shout out to my husband. I love great sleep and I love great sex. We've been together for 30 years. So, hey.
It has to be good.
And what I realized that when I have periods of stress, because I wear multiple hats, it does impact my libido. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, that's when I started realizing, okay, something has to change because it's not fair to me because my heart needs it. My wellness needs it. My spiritual self needs it. My mind needs it. And my family needs me to be the best that I can be.
Right.
And so, yeah, my husband and I have this little running joke about, he's like, I'm going to just need you to, you need to, you're going to have to come today because right now you getting on our nerves. So, it's like, you too stressed. So you going to have to nut. I'm going to need you to nut. How about that?
I need you to decompress you and send you out into the world.
Right. We're going to talk adulthood here. We just are.
Yes. No, but you hit on a lot of nails. You hit a lot of points here. One, as women, as Black women, as women of color, or even just whoever is joining us, you may not be a woman of color, but just women in general, we have this Wonder Woman complex. And listen, I wrote a poem called Wonder Woman. I wrote a poem about it, right? But I also talk about that aspect of self-care. We need to be able to say, I need help. We need to be able to say no. The world will not come to an end because a lot of the stress that we feel is because we're trying to be everything to everyone and nothing to ourselves. And we literally feel guilty when we say no. That's setting a boundary. Like, no, I'm not taking on this additional role. I'm not taking on this additional project. I'm not going to be picking you up and dropping you off and picking you up and dropping you off today. No, like we have to be able to establish that. And I love the fact how your family is supportive of you. So, women a lot of times, and I'm in a heterosexual relationship, and I would think even in same-sex situations, that your partner wants you to be well. Unless it's a relationship where it's unhealthy, your partner wants the best for you too. I've yet to, I think in all the clients that I've worked with, I only had one client whose husband was literally sabotaging what she was doing. Everyone else, their partners were like, please take them. Just take them. You know, we want her to be her best self. There was only one person that I ever saw that with. So when you're saying, you know, and be, you know, when, and because with women, sex is something that's not just physical, it's our head.
Yes.
Women love, and when we're turned on, when we're aroused, it's head and heart.
Yes.
Then you guys are amazing creatures. Y'all can just,
right,
the physical and you good.
I could dead sleep. Oh, are you serious?
but as women, we need to be one.
Right. It's a whole production.
It's a whole production.
Like, we need to concentrate.
We need to concentrate. So when stress comes in there,
exactly.
Our sleep, it messes it all up.
You can't concentrate. Your libido is off. Your desire is off. That stress is. Ugh. So I found some like wonderful tools that I utilize. Simple as breathing. That's free.
I was going to ask you, what's one tool? Now, obviously, we're going to say, call her with her, because she's got a whole program for this. But, you know, being that this is just a short conversation, what's one place that we can start to begin to identify or decompress from stress?
The simplest thing is practicing deep breathing.
Okay, I've heard a lot about breathing. I've seen 369, 442. I feel like 516.
Say inhale.
What would you say?
I say inhale till you can't inhale anymore. Just fill up your lungs to your capacity. Because everybody may not be able to get to 4. And I don't want people passing out trying to relax. So
I like that.
Fill up your lungs until you can hold it for 1 or 2. Some people can hold it longer, but a few seconds. And slowly, as slowly as you can, release all of that negativity, all of that stress. And I know not everyone has an Apple Watch, but they have a breathing app on that. If you have a phone, I'm sure they have a breathing app on your phone. There's an app for that.
They got apps to drink water. They got apps for everything.
Everything.
Apps for everything.
So breathing.
Okay.
Staying grounded. This is something that my maternal grandmother taught me. As a child, I would do it all the time. She would be working in the garden, and she would tell me, because I was one of those kids who I'm ADD. I mean, there wasn't a word back then, but I am. That's why I work for myself. And she would make me take off my shoes and my socks, and she would make me just stand in the dirt. And she said, connect back to Mother Earth, because the ions that will run through your body. I'm like, ions? I'm like, what are ions? But
don't worry about it.
Right. Just, and I would be so calm. But but now I'm like, okay, I told my husband, please don't spray any chemicals on the grass, at least not this patch, because I need it.
Yes.
Because if I feel myself getting all kiltered, or I'll just go outside. I know we live in Ohio and it's cold. I'll go out and I'll just barefoot and just stand in the grass, close my eyes, practice my breathing, and you can just feel your body reset when you connect to the earth. So those are 2 simple things that you can do for free. Breathing.
For free.
Connecting to the earth. Hopefully not toxic earth, but yes.
You know, and it's true. You know, it's funny. Since I was a kid, and it's funny we're talking about this today, because I was talking to my coach about it. A lot of times if we're lifting super heavy, like we're getting into prep, so the workouts are intensifying, the rest are shorter. And so sometimes like my breath gets away from me. So I have to literally go outside and I'll squat down on the ground, or I'll have to sit on the floor. And I one day I was like, I've always been like this. Anytime I feel off kilter, I don't feel good, I always have to lay on the floor. And I saw that I like to ground myself. In the summer, I love to have my feet in the grass, in the dirt. Even when I'm breathing, I thought I was just getting comfortable, but I see what you mean. I always have to take my shoes off. Like if there's a quiet time, the kids are not in my classroom, the other teacher that I share a room is not there, I will take my shoes off and sit and just breathe and reconnect. And
Yeah.
so like in the afternoon, I can just
Yeah.
get into the day. Wow. Wow.
See?
Is there something that couples can do? Like, is
Oh,
there activity that a couple can do?
as simple as just touching, holding each other's hands, like in a sitting down, either hugging, embracing, standing.
Mm.
That connection, and it's nothing sexual. It's just the connection, feeling each other's heartbeat, feeling the warmth, the security. If
Mhm.
you're like if you're in a safe relationship, you'll just feel the stress melt away. We make it a point every day just to hug, hold. I mean, just the pheromones, your partner's smell, all of that is relaxing.
And it just calms.
It just calms, reduces the stress, which you know helps with blood pressure, heart health,
Mm.
because if you, I mean, I know this is off, kind of off, but on. But the children that they found, the orphanage in Romania, those
Yes.
children had not been hugged or loved, and how they were just so deprived at the ages of 6 and 7, and it was almost to the point where they couldn't be saved.
Yeah.
Touch, touch is that powerful.
Touch is a very powerful thing. I remember I had a young lady, one of my students, she was just having a really bad day. And she came up to me, and usually as a teacher, you're like really trying to make sure you don't cross any boundaries. But she just looked at me and she's like, Miss, can I have a hug? And so I stood in the doorway,
Right.
but I gave her a hug. But it's sad that you have to be that way, but you do have to be that way. But that's all she needed. And you could just feel her just,
Yeah.
and she felt better. That touch is everything. And I feel like, because of social media, it's so easy to become disconnected from people that we forget the hug. And one of the compliments I always get is, Orlandina, you give the best hugs. And and I always said, don't everybody, doesn't everybody hug like this? And
No.
then one day I realized it's because I hug heart to heart. So if I'm hugging you, I hug heart to heart. And it's a genuine hug.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you hug people, they just
Yeah.
they relax. So it's interesting that you say that. Breathing, grounding, touch. Touch, I feel like it's another way of grounding,
It is.
right? Being transferred back and forth
Exactly. Energy.
between the person.
Yes. Energy for sure. So
Wow.
all of
So
it ties into like you said, a healthy self, healthy libido, healthy sex life, healthy mental health. It's all secular.
speak on that, because that's a very big thing now. Mental health was always a topic of conversation, but now because of social media, it's becoming more pronounced. People, I'm like, I don't know if it's more people are suffering from mental health, or is it just because there's more information out about it? Speak on how there's a connection between stress, sex, and mental health as well, and sleep.
Well, if you just think about pipes, and if you have pipes in your house and they get backed up, all the sewage backs up, starts, everything overflows, everything explodes. Your body is the same way. Your mind is the same way. You have to keep those passages open. So for your mental health, it looks different for different people. For some people, they need to be alone. I'm an introvert.
Yeah,
I be alone. I have to reset and recharge. When I know I have an event I need to attend, I literally give myself a day to prep. Sometimes I don't always get that blessing,
yeah,
but I know I need a few hours to ground. But after that event, oh honey, my husband, everybody know, don't talk to her the next day. She got to color. She got to go listen to music. She got to go chant. She got to sing. She got to do everything.
girl.
But that's how I stay
Yes,
sane.
yes, yes.
So that
I'm the same
right,
exact way. Like, I
right.
have to ground myself before any event. I need to, like, before I speak, I feel like I need to to be at that space. Zoran said the same thing. Zoran's the same way. Like, we need to prepare, and once the event is done, like, I need time to just breathe, disconnect, and just
Yeah.
I need that, so that in the next few days I'll be okay, and I'm back to my normal self. But you've given so much, so you need to fill up, and then you give during the event. You need to fill back up again, and that's okay. So
So
as you said,
think of that energy. So just that the energy that it takes to be on, to give. Yes, those colors.
yeah,
I love coloring. Think about that when it comes to intimacy. When you have those blockages because you haven't had the time to ground with your partner, connect with your partner, and you may get to the point with that stress and the mental stress, the mental health component of it, and you don't want it.
yeah,
You've gotten so blocked that you don't even want to be touched. You don't even want the intimacy.
yes,
And that's the secular part of it, because you're like, okay, well, I'm running, 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 running. I have not slept like I'm supposed to. That's not going to bother anything else in my life. We don't make the connections that that lack of sleep is going to lead to stress. That stress is going to lead to heart problems, mental health problems. It could lead to mental health problems, heart problems. And when I say mental health, I'm not speaking of what everybody typically thinks is the diagnosis, a DMSM. I mean, your mental health is just simply, are you about to lose it? Are you not, like I tell my adults, are you using your adult words,
mm-hmm.
or going to full blown cussing somebody out? That's a mental breakdown. When you, I mean, some people deserve to be cussed out, but that's you. Uh-oh, lost you. Uh-oh, did I do something? Because I can't hear you. No, ma'am. Can you hear me? Are we about to? Okay, the
No,
interweb.
but yeah, there's a, like you said, there's a mental health is now always from the DSM-4
Five. Yes,
five
five.
now. That's right,
Yeah,
DSM-5. So it can just be just you. How are you reacting? Are you
yeah,
exploding? Are you reacting calmly, or is this the straw that broke the camel's back?
exactly.
So those types of things is it's extremely important that we are able to see the connection. If you don't get enough sleep, that what that does, that stress creates inflammation in the body, and that's where all of these diseases come
Exactly.
from.
Exactly.
This constant bombardment of stress creates inflammation in the body, and
And
then hello diabetes,
yes,
hello high blood pressure,
yes, it's
as heart disease.
that's a whole nother
That's a
conversation.
whole nother conversation. But before we wrap it up, I want you to tell people about your book and where they can find you. Tell them about the book and then where they can find you.
So the book is called Look Good Naked. It is on Amazon. I am Dion Jones. It is, what is it? It is HTTPS. I'll put it in. Let me put it in the chat. Or you can come. Actually, it's easy. It's just to come over to my
That's what I
Instagram.
was gonna say. Just go to her Instagram page. It's
Yes,
a click. Just
yes.
press on her name.
Put that in there. How about that?
There
Because
you go.
honey, I'm acting like the old people I work with. Now, baby, if you just get some pencil and paper,
And write down this book
right?
using the Dewey Decimal System. You can look it up. Yeah, no.
Ooh, I was getting ready to go there all
Like,
the way.
no, no. And what I'll do is when I'm done with this live, your name's gonna be tagged on it. So yeah, go to Age with Vibrancy. Go on Amazon, type in Look Good Naked. Tell us a little bit about the book. And well, don't give it all away, because I mean the title says a lot.
Well, it's actually the first phase of my program. So the Look Good Naked is everybody, like you said, everybody wants to be that bombshell and blah, 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 and what the quote unquote media says you're supposed to look like. So this is just a simple guide to nutrition. I have a little 7-day recipe kickstart for people in here: breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. But it explains things that the misconception about the scale and
Mm.
hereditary issues and just all these little things, BMIs and BMRs, and it just breaks it down to layman's terms.
Right. Good.
Just for
People
people
need to hear
to know
more.
where to start, right? Where people don't know where to start. And so, like I said, the look good naked is, like I said, the physical, but my program takes it into the spiritual and the physiological.
And that's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
need a complete program. You know, you can look up online and they will have every diet known to man. But if you work with someone like Dion and you get a holistic, because they see you as a whole person, that's what you are, a whole human being, not just
Right.
a machine that eats. And a lot of these programs don't take that into account at all. So
Make you
I
put big girl panties on.
and she's gonna make you get your good big girl panties on, like, because
Yeah.
you know that's reality.
I had to do it, well, yeah, I had to do it myself because, like I said, when I started this journey, I was so in my head, to the point I had lost 50 pounds, and I was actually getting dressed one day, and I was tying a knot on the side of my underwear, and my husband was like, he just watching. He was like, ma'am, have you realized that you've lost 50 pounds and you need some new underwear? For literally tying knots in these big old bloomers and that's when I was like, oh duh, I'm a social worker. I can help my clients with this. And I tell them it's going to honestly almost take a year, if not more, for you to get out your head, because I don't know how much damage you've done, how much damage has been done to you.
That's right.
So,
To get that. And people don't understand. I said, when you get this new body, you actually need to adjust to it mentally.
yeah.
The whole thing that happens. So working with someone for more than, for a period of time, they get to know you, they get to work with you. That's the beauty of it. They work with you completely, as opposed to here's a diet, bye, see you next time.
That's
You don't need that.
journey.
Because that would work. Everybody would be exactly where they want to be physically. But what happens is you sign on to these programs, they promise you quick weight loss, and guess what? You gain it back and more because you never address
the biggest
this.
example. I hate that shit fashion. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm with you. You're going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I'm like, but they even gained 30 pounds in 30 days. Like, how is that possible?
Right. I said, come on now. So yeah, my clients, after the reality sinks in, they're like, you told me that in orientation. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah. This ain't an overnight thing. It takes time.
That's why
but you're worth it.
How many years to get this way? Okay.
Exactly.
Give yourself space.
Exactly.
Tell your significant other to be quiet. Like clients whose husband is like, okay, they've been with you for 2 weeks. They should be. Look, Homer Simpson, I'm gonna need you.
Just fall back.
Fall back, sir. I was like, she is not gonna look like Beyonce in 2 weeks. No. That's not what we're here.
No, come on now. She's gonna look better than that. Give her some time. Give her some time, please now. But Dion, thank you so much for being in, for having this Red Stiletto conversation, being in the Red Stiletto room. Hey, Patty Fit and Fab. She's another one. She's an amazing person to follow. Y'all need to follow her too. But she also talks about aging gracefully and being fit and fabulous.
Yes.
So somebody else to definitely look out for. But I appreciate you. I love our connection. I look forward to having you part of these Fitter Woman lifestyle events that we're going to have. She's going to be a part of it. I can't wait to have her as part of it. And just for everybody to understand that there's wellness in each phase of our lives. And to know that you can be, I said it already. I called it. I said, I'm going to be that little sexy lady in the gym. Just sassy. Sassy. I'm going to be like Orlandina. Just sassy for no reason. Just, ooh, honey, let me show you how it's done. So, but you got to establish that from now. And then you work toward it.
My great aunt still wears kitten heels and she's 100.
So
yes, my grandmother said actually it's 101. And go over those little kitten heels if she can't wear them.
She's cute. Thank you, Zoran.
Yeah.
She said, great conversation, ladies. But Dion, it's a pleasure having you. Guys, follow her, Age with Vibrancy. Check out her book, Look Good Naked. I love that. Look Good Naked. And definitely look out for her. You're going to be seeing her more and more with us. We just love connecting with you and collaborating with you. And yeah, just look out for our next Red Stiletto conversation and follow her. So you want to leave the people with anything, Dion? Go ahead. You want to leave the people with anything?
Breathe. Don't be so serious all the time. Laugh. Hug a tree if you don't want to hug someone. And yes,
Well, let's see you hugging the tree.
I really like bugs, so I don't hug.
You're hugging yourself in a little straight jacket.
Yes. Love on you. Love on you. Woo woo.
That's it. Love on you. All right, Fit Fam. Good night. Be bigger, be fitter, be stronger, be good to this wonderful temple called you. And definitely come back to Red Stiletto conversation.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I really appreciate it. Bye.
We love y'all. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.